Yo, it's me, Cowboy, and I'm gonna be talking about builds you probably should have ready for next season. Now, this is mainly gonna be covering what I'm gonna be doing on Warlock, or this is a Warlock video. So if you're looking for Hunter builds, Titan builds, wait a day or two. They should be out. If you're watching this video the day it comes out, those videos probably won't be out yet. I don't think I'm gonna be able to record them all and have them all perfect, but this is for the Warlocks since it is my most played class. This guy is for you. Alright, be happy. So first I'm going to go with all the solar builds I have ready and sort of put them on a tier list, I would say, on like the level of importance that they serve and just like the level of like fun, stuff like that. So if something's S tier, it's probably really important to have, fun to use, and what is Warlock identity in a way. I don't know. Let's get into this. Alright, first things first. We have Starfire Protocol Warlock. CM Rene Trip 100. Um, this is mainly because this is what's giving me the Trip 100, and because of that, I want to take advantage of this. So, rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignitions creates an orb of power. Alright, so what do I need to do? I need to have more ignitions so I can have more orbs of power. So I have more stacks of Scorch. So my grenades, when I throw two of them, because I'm running the Touch of Flame with fusion nades, they apply more Scorch. So two nades equals one ignition. Alright, so what do my ignitions do? They give me an orb of power. What else do they do? They spread Scorch. What else do they do? They have a larger size when they blow up. So this is great ad clear. Well, what can I use to spread Scourge? Incandescent. This can cause ignitions and spread Scorch. What can take advantage of an ignition? Boom. Explosive Well Maker. This makes me orbs. This makes me wells. What can these wells do? These wells can heal me once I pick up them. Elemental charge and heal thyself. What does heal thyself do? If my game would load, I'll have been on old gen consoles. Heal thyself while you charge the fight. Consume one of these stacks, and your grenade final blows heal you. How much do they heal you for? I forget the exact number, but I believe it's around 50% of your health. I'll have the actual number on screen or the scaling on screen, but it's well worth it since you don't have any forms of healing while on this class. You have to rely off your recovery since you want to be using Empowering Rift so you can be able to spam grenades. You want to use fusion nades so you can throw those nades that you spam, and you have to wait for your well to get any forms of healing. Because come next season, you won't have access to this mod. And I never have used this mod because I didn't want to get attached to its healing. Now, you don't need to use Heal Thyself. You can swap this out with a Font of Might, um, Font of Wisdom, stuff like that, or just different mods in general, whatever you like. If you want to get rid of this so you can have ammo finders, do that. But that's how I run this build. I run it with Heal Thyself so I can get healings off my grenades, Explosive Well Maker so I can get wells from maybe if I'm using Wither Horde since that's a grenade launcher, and Callus Mini Tool, or let's say I'm using a rocket launcher. This can make me a well, technically. I'm not going to use it for the purpose of making wells, but this has an extra benefit that it can make wells. And those wells can buff guns like Cataclysmic up. Alright, so where would I place this? I would place this probably top of the list. This is going to be S tier. It's going to be a must-have for a day one raid or just seasonal content in general. This build is now a staple into the Destiny universe. I'm very glad it is. The one problem this build has is this motherfucking chest piece and how ugly it looks. I mean, come on, I do not want to look like a stack of potatoes. It's probably the best look I've given it. Just making that gold pop, making the cloak dark so I don't look like Yoda. No offense to my homeboy Ryan for looking like Yoda, but I just can't. I don't rock with it, man. This just for a drip check, F tier. I'm sorry. Let's get to the next one. All right, build number 2. It's gonna be Rain of Fire boots. Unfortunately, I've not been lucky with the Rain of Fire boots. I don't really have a good role for them, so you're gonna see my stats are struggling. But that's also because of my fragments. A triple 100 with this build is not going to be possible, which is why this is going to be a little lower on the list. However, this is how it works. So you have Ember of Tempering, solar weapons give you increased recovery to make up for the lack of recovery this build, and you're going to have better Ember effectiveness. It's just cool. It's not needed, but it will stack on top of what Rain of Fire boots already do. So it's a benefit. Next up, we have Ember of Empyrean, solar weapon or ability final blows extend the duration of your resilience or your restoration and radiant effects. We're only using this because we're using healing aids. This is just to give us healing at all times, and we can combine that with this just to always have it. I guess it technically works with the Radiant boots, but you don't really need it since Vex Mythic Class will be your main weapon with this build, if you have Vex, of course. And Ember of Benevolence, to make up for the low stats, you have to use this. So this is going to be really tricky to explain, but I have the best way to explain it, I think. So, right here, my grenade ability. It says 45 seconds. What this does is the fragment, it increases my ability base regen speed by 200% for 6 seconds. Now, it sounds really weird. Basically what it means is, so 45 divided by 2 becomes 22.5 seconds. Now, you subtract 6 from that, you get 16.5. Then you multiply that by 2, it is 33 seconds. My grenade cooldown is technically at 33 seconds whenever I apply healing to them via a healing grenade or a Phoenix Dive, one of the two. Now, why am I using Phoenix Dive? Because this is an air dodge alongside Icarus Dash, which is an air dodge, which means I auto-reload all my weapons. So, let's say I'm using Cataclysmic, and I just don't want to do the reload, I dodge. Easy money. Let's say I'm using my Heritage. Let's say I finished my damage, I dodge, so I can have that reloading still, and I can swap over to, like, I don't know, a rocket, something. So, like, next time I go over to my Heritage, I have more time to shoot more shots. I don't know. It's just, Rain of Fire boots, it's free, I don't have to reload. I can leave Icarus Dash or Phoenix Dive, one of the two, and I get benefits from it. So that's a big plus for me. The level of importance from this build, I'm going to place it B tier, maybe low A, if I could. So, Rain of Fire's importance in future seasons. For now, I'm going to say low A, high B. It's a very fun combo. I really like it. It makes Vex very strong. Not Particle D strong, but still strong enough to hang up in there. Alright, let's get on to the next solar build. Probably my last solar build, honestly. Alright, sometimes I get ahead of myself and I say things before I even talk about the build. And those fragments I just brought up, surprise, surprise, they're actually a part of this next build. Now this is going to be Dawn of Chorus. Now let's read what it does. This is my quote-unquote quad 100 build. If I had better recov, it would definitely be a triple 100, but unfortunately my armor is not perfect. Basically ignore this first line because Daybreak got nerfed into the ground. It is dog shit. Don't use it. Your Scorch effects deal more damage and you gain a small amount of melee energy every time your Scorch effects damage a target. This is a lot of melee regen. It's not nothing to laugh at. And what's cool about this, I did not mean to click void. What's cool about this is that you can use an incendiary grenade, which will have the highest amount of Scorch off the bat, which will feed you melee energy. So what you can do is you can throw your melee, wait for it to lose off a Scorch, throw an Incendiary grenade, have it just lose a little bit because your melee is going to be a little bit charged from its initial. The Incendiary is going to charge it even more, and you're able just to chain these back to back if you have the right armor stat. Let me get it for you. Because with this mod, causing damage with your melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. So you're just able to chain these back and forth. There's a 7-second cooldown, but this off the bat, just with one by itself, will give you 20% of your ability energy, I'm pretty sure, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good combo you can do back and forth. Explosive well maker for when you make explosions, and then you can put on another solar piece of armor if you're using solar, where your elemental wells can give you grenade energy. You can do stuff like that. I really like it. So that's another build, and you can use an not an IQOS. You can use an incandescent weapon to give you scorch stacks on enemies that aren't being scorched by your abilities. It's a very fun combo to chain together. So this is my quote-unquote quad 100 build. Now, where would I place this build? I would place this above the Rain of Fire build, in like higher end content, I would say, but not like too high above. I'd say they're probably around the same level, both really good, but this one would be higher than it. So I'll just base A tier, maybe A plus. Who knows? Alrighty, next we're on to Void, and we're gonna be talking about Controverse Holds. Controverse Holds, I really don't spec into having extra like grenades too much. I just spec into having like Love Tenacity just so I can have that damage resist, because you don't get the same amount of healing that you get from solar. So having 100 resilience plus another, I believe, 50% damage resist that lasts quite a while with a elemental time dilation. I think it's 11 or 13 seconds. It's pretty good. I combine it with Devour over using Child of the Old Gods. I think Child of the Old Gods is better to use with Nezarec Sin. I do like using Child of the Old Gods over Controverse Holds for Weaken, because I don't like sacrificing my 20 discipline just so I can have weaken grenades. I don't think it's worth it in my opinion. But to each their own. Some people like throwing the weaken grenade and then doing their Nova Bomb. I prefer to use the Pop a Rift, shoot the enemy, and then throw the Nova Bomb. It does the same exact thing, and Child of the Old Gods lasts longer. But this is still a pretty good option to go with. You can spam your nades quite often. You get a high damage resist. It's not bad. That's all I get. That's solid. This would be a triple 100 if I wasn't running this. But, yeah, it's still pretty good. I would put this high A. No, you know what? Low S. High A, low S. This is better for endgame content. That's where Child of the Old God struggles, because you can't really take advantage of Nezarec Sin, which is going to be the next build. You can't really take advantage of it in endgame as much, and it's very loadout heavy, but this is still a pretty solid option. Okay, next build, it's going to be my Nezarec Sin build. With this build, you just want triple 100s. You can do it in any, like, triple that you want. I just prefer the recovery discipline one, and I know that I have a lot of discipline. I could probably change up like a few pieces of armor, but then I would lose out on like something like major recovery. Yeah, like I just have a lot of discipline. I just gotta deal with it. I usually don't spec into discipline mods. A lot of my armor has naturally high discipline, like this is a 32, 21, 25, 26. There's nothing I can really do. I also have plus 10 because the fragments. So, using a finisher, I go invis. It's really useful. It's really powerful. Suppressing a target gives me movement speed, so that bumps my mobility for free. I also get a faster, or I just also reload my weapons. It's nice. I like using suppressor grenades, especially on Resurrect Sin. I just get to spam them a lot, and it doesn't with Feed the Void and Shadow of the Old Gods. These two don't say you must use X grenade for it to be efficient. So you can use a suppressor grenade. You could use a void wall if you want, uh, and spikes. I think these are the only ones that aren't affected by Chaos Accelerant, so you can use that. Echo of Leeching, uh, melee final blows, start health regen, so that's nice. Just get some free health every time you do a melee kill, and this works with glaives. I really like this one. It's literally just free healing if I get a melee kill, which I tend to do a lot. I tend to just punch an enemy, and if I don't have Devour active, I could just use this. It's nice. And then volatile rounds, once you defeat a target with Void, or with a grenade. I'm sorry, I'm blanking out right now. I'm very tired. I'm recording this very early into the morning. Yeah, so that's my Resurrect Sin build. I'm gonna put this A+. It falls off at endgame, like higher tiers like Grandmasters, but solid pick. Works very well. You may be wondering why I'm using Domineering. Let's say I use something like Lorenz Driver, which at the moment it is the highest damage void linear in the game. It auto reloads. I'm doing DPS, throw a grenade, and I can continue doing DPS. That's the main reason. It's like the Rain of Fire boots. It serves the same exact purpose, and that's it. All right, last but not least, let's talk about Stasis. Probably one of my favorite builds since Witch Queen has come out, Ozymandias Gloves. Now, what I like to do is one of two things. I either go triple firepower, or I go Font of Might with high energy fire. One of the two routes. One's more DPS focus, one is more grenade spammy focus. I use the Cold Snaps. I don't use Bleak Watchers. Bleak Watchers have a 2-minute, 32-second cooldown at 100 discipline. It is a 47. Now let's say I use Bleak Watchers instead of Icefire Bolts. That is now a 1-minute cooldown. And I quite honestly don't want to have to worry about that 10-second difference between one grenade and another. I don't want it to affect it. Uh, for some people, it might not matter to them, but the Ice Fire Bolts I just think is so much stronger. And if you're like, well, why don't you just use Ice Fire Bolts with Bleak Watcher? That means I can't make Elemental Shards, which means that this build just doesn't work as efficiently, because collecting a shard gives you Overshield. Shattering, actually, no, never mind. This is for headstone weapons, or just any stasis crystals in general. Yeah, headstone weapon, standby crystal, you get damage resist, and this is just so stasis crystals track to you. It's free. You can change things up, like you can take off this and spec into just your slows lasting longer, or just gain grenade energy every time you get hit. Something of the sort, whatever you would like. It's all up to you. Let's say you want to spec in to just gain more melee energy or super energy. Yeah, that's basically it for Cold Snappy. That's what I like to call this. You can change firepower to Fonts of Mights, Font of Wisdoms, whatever you'd like. Before I get my rating for this one, I'm actually going to put this the same level as the Starfire Protocol build. It is a very, very useful build, very fun. and it can take advantage of basically whatever a Starfire Protocol build could. It just doesn't have the damage, but it does have the grenade utility spam. This is very nice to have, especially in endgame content. Alrighty, one of my go-tos that I probably wear the most, it's gonna be my Stag Stasis build. It works practically the same as the Osteomancy one. This one just is built for a higher damage resist. You have Glacial Harvest and Bleak Watchers. You're actually using Glacier Nade this time. Whisper of Rhyme for the Overshield. Same exact fragments as before. Uh, this one just allows you to be more tankier in your rifts. So you can either drop a grenade and get a higher damage resist, or you can use your grenade to freeze targets to where you can get a damage buff, super buff, and another damage buff. If you have Radiance, high energy fire doesn't matter, so like if you're in a well, you can change this to another mod, such as, let me find it real quick, change it to, where is it at? Sorry, I'm blanking on this one. You could change it to Protective Light when you're not in a rift, or you can change it to a Fontamite and just, or Elemental Time Dilation, whatever you want to change it to. It's all up to you. It's your build. And that's going to be it. I'm going to place this, I want to say, low S. Low S. I've used this in GMs. It's a solid build. It keeps you alive. Yeah. So that's it for my Warlocks. No Arc builds because Arc is literally going to change next week. And I can't tell you what's going to be good because some things were good for Solar and they became garbage for Solar. So let's just wait until next week. Let's wait until we see what we have, and then we can make our builds then. But if you're honestly wondering what I am going to be using, I'm just going to throw in a few builds real quick. Let's see. This is called Arc 3.0 Work in Progress. I don't know if this is a triple 100. It's probably a double 100 maybe. Let's see. Yeah, it's a double 100. I'm just hoping we have stuff that either gives you discipline, so I can take off a discipline mod somewhere. No, never mind. So I can take off a resilience mod somewhere. So hopefully something that gives you resilience and recuv, so I can take off a resil mod somewhere. It's Getaway Artists. I just like Getaway Artists. They're fun. If you have a single grenade kickstart, you're able to get your grenade back instantly. It is super easy to do with 100 discipline, and I think it's going to be a pretty strong build. I don't know if it's going to be as DPS meta defining as Storm, not Storm. I'm so sorry. I'm very tired at the moment. I'm filming this at 3 in the morning. As Starfire Protocol, however, it is a nice bonus to your damage. Holy. Alright, next for Arc, we have, I think, a triple 100. Not a triple 100 I like to use, but a triple 100 nonetheless. It's a goal 100, I would say. You know what? Looks like my internet's not doing so well to where I'm not getting any of my stuff. So I'm gonna cut it right here, and then I'm gonna resume in the morning after I go to bed, and I will do a proper outro then. But for now, I guess good night, past Jalen, and good morning, future Jalen. Thank you, past Jalen. Picking off from last night, there's another Arc triple 100 build. Just in case like recovery is not the move, I made a build where I do resilience, discipline, and strength. So this is a pseudo Titan on Warlock build. I use Felner's Whelm because Felner's Helm because powered melee kills create a burst of energy that weakens enemies, and this works with finishers, and I can get Overcharge, Wellmaker, which gives me Arc Wells, and if I'm using with an Arc subclass, I can use Font of Light mods. Let's see, up next, for Arc 3.0, actually I think that's the, yeah, that's actually the last build. Oh, no, I lied. We have one more. The Crown of Tempest build. Same sort of deal. Actually, I don't know if the mods have been changed yet, but yep, same sort of deal. We got Crown of Tempest. I have another Crown of Tempest that I want to get triple 100s here, but for now, here's one build. I'm just waiting for Arc 3.0 before I make any official Arc builds. Other than that, gamers, that's going to be it for me today for my Warlocks. Hunters, Titans, look forward to the near future. But yeah, that's it. Peace out.